Hi everyone, so today I'm going to show you to make hemp milk. So I want to demystify it pretty quickly because it's so simple and you're going to figure it out. It's really simple and it started to get available at some supermarkets around the place. Just a few food lands around South Australia actually sell hemp milk, but it's quite pricey. It's actually even more expensive than almond milk. But almond milk is so watered down that technically you're better off going for the hemp milk. I will just go straight into it. And I'm going to start making the hemp milk with the easiest way, which is the hemp seeds. So you can find hemp seeds in the supermarket. However, the main brand you will find supermarket is not Australian. It's certified organic Australian, but it's not Australian. It's from Canada, so read the label. There are a few brands around, mainly two manufacturers that are collecting hemp from farmers. One manufacturing plant in Victoria, which is that brand, and another one in Tasmania that have their own culture and their own crops, and they actually manufacture and sell across Australia, but mainly in Tasmania. So that's one of the only brands you will find that is Australian. All the others you'll find around, they literally repackage from that manufacturer. Just letting you know. So, how do we make hemp milk? We grab a cup. I'm going to keep it super simple, so we're going to go for 1 cup of hemp seeds. So, here it is. I didn't check if that was plugged. It is plugged. And it's on. Beautiful. So we have 1 cup of hemp seeds. We'll put that in a mixer. And then I'm going to have fun doing that because it's going to take me a little bit of time, but the equivalence is like you have to have 3 cups of water for 1 cup of hemp seeds. I have only these things, so it might take me a little bit to fill the 3 cups, so here I go. It might be okay because it's full. So I tend to use either spring water or at least filtered water, just for the fact of tap water not being so good in South Australia. You want to just make sure you get like good water at least, not to spoil your hemp seeds. So 1 cup of hemp seeds for 3 cups of water. And then it's going to take me another 15 seconds or more. So put that up. So you start seeing it turning actually like milk color because that's what it's doing. It's breaking all the hemp seeds, and that's what it is. That's how they make almond milk as well. Any nut milk technically goes through this mixing stage with water, as simple as that. The fun part after that is to filter it. So today I'm going to be really lazy. I'm going to use like a basic mesh strainer. But if you want to really have like this kind of colored milk without any residues, I suggest you use a nut milk bag. So do you have mine here? I think I do. Which mine is made out of hemp as well. So you can find it online, and it's just like a normal bag, and you just let it by gravity filter through, and you will get actually a better result, like it really looks like milk. But for sparing my time here, we're just going to do it the really easy way today, and I'm going to filter it straight through the strainer. So you see there's still some particles here, but they're going to be, most of them are going to be kept in the strainer. So what the residues are is technically just the little bit of hull that was still like the part of the shells that was still on the hemp parts. You have just to know that the hemp seeds normally have an outer shell, and that outer shell is actually quite rich in fiber. So unfortunately in the supermarket we find the main type of hemp seeds are the without the seeds, without the outer shell, sorry. And these ones are actually like a little bit of a fiber you would get if you were getting the whole seed. But it's much easier to process. So that's why they sell it that way. So we still have a little bit of residue here, and because I don't like wasting hemp in any way, I found out that it was actually a really good exfoliant. So I've been keeping the residues, and I'm gonna really put it in a little, like, some kind of terracotta dish. And I'm happy for you to try that as well on your hands if you want some fun. I just don't have anywhere for you to rinse your hands afterwards, but you can have a go. So that's just like a paste at the end, and that's really good for exfoliating. And because it is still rich with all the oil, there's still a lot of oil content in it. It does moisturize your skin too, which is great. So that's what I do with the residue of my hemp milk. So here, because I will, for the people who want, get you to taste the hemp milk as it is, unsweetened. Okay, for people who are kind of vegan, who are used to kind of really healthy, not so tasty, go for it. However, I prefer to sweeten it because it does have a little bit of a greeny taste. It's nutty and greeny, and may as well sweeten it a little bit. Obviously, don't use sugar. What I tend to use is this type of thing, so coconut sugar, or my preferences are agave syrup. So you can find that at the Foodland in Pasadena and buy it bulk, actually. So that's what we're gonna do. I'll put a little bit of that. So we'll do just the basic sweetening version, and then I'll make a little smoothie. So I tend to kind of weigh up things normally, but today I decided I will just not. It will still stay sweet, and in terms of quantity, it's up to you if you prefer it more sweetened or not. Like, I won't give you a full recipe unless you want me to. I've developed one that I like, but technically it's just easy way to kind of decide what you want by putting what you want in it. So we would like to try the sweetened version to start with. Anyone interested? Yeah? So, the sweetened version. It is? No worries. So now what I do, I personally like putting fruits in it. It sweetens it even more, which makes it even tastier. And I like doing some kind of indulgence one, but I put cacao powder in it as well, because it goes so well together. So I'm just gonna do that right now, and you can taste that if you prefer to. The advantage is for people, especially for people who are dairy intolerant, I found hemp milk being so versatile, and I'll show you after I made that this morning. I actually made vegan pancakes using the hemp milk. It works so well, it's a simple recipe, and it's another way of using the hemp milk. And I've got some samples here, so you'll be able to taste that too. So for this one here, we're just gonna put one banana. And just a little spoon of the cacao powder. Well, so simple. All right. Right, we want to try the indulgent one. Anyone interested? Yes? You just come at the front, I'll give you a little sample. And I'm gonna make a different one after, but this one is like, because it's like Sunday afternoon, and I mean, it's not warm, sorry, but it's still gonna warm you up somehow. It's nice and tasty and actually really healthy. So I didn't talk too much about the nutritious aspect. I talked about it yesterday in the talk I did. But technically what's great about hemp milk despite that you're losing a little bit of nutrition that end up staying in the residue, a lot of nutrition goes through the milk. So you get it's packed with protein, plant-based protein obviously. It has still the healthy fats, so the good ratio of omega-6 and 3. So in actual hemp milk, it is one of the highest plant-based ratios. So you have actually a ratio of omega-6 to 3 of 3 to 1, which is quite high. There's not many plant-based source of omega-3, and hemp seed is one of them. Just to compare, you get omega-3 as well in salmon, but not as digestible when it comes to plant-based, and because of the dietary fiber content as well, you're going to digest really easily. And something that was mentioned before, you can't get allergic to hemp. So it's actually vegan. Anyone can have it, any diet, and you can't develop allergies. So go for it. Yes, go for it. Someone else want to try the cacao banana one? It is. Now, I want to do the other one. The other one is what I call the super greeny one, because I really packed it with a lot of protein. So I use the actual hemp protein, and I also put any type of kind of green powder you will find in supermarkets. I use this one because I have a friend who's an urban consultant. But so you actually pack it with protein. So it's great before going to the gym, especially for people who have an intolerance for whey powder, because a lot of the protein powder have whey in it and people can't really digest it properly. So when it comes to hemp protein, it's really great. And if you look at the back, and I'll tell you what's written, it's faster, 51 gram per 100 gram of protein. It's super, super high, okay? And obviously, you'll get a lot of really, just not sure I'm gonna do that one. I'm just trying to figure it out right now. I have a problem. I need someone to drink it all for me. Any chance? I know what I'm gonna do, it's all good. I do have this. I'm gonna put this one in the midi bottle. So what did you think of it, by the way? Who tried it? Nice? Yeah? Alright, so now I'm going to do the other one. I'm going to do a little of a rinsing here. I haven't told you my special cheapest secret, but it's coming. Because you may, if you have already tried to buy hemp seeds in the supermarket, you may have figured out that it's a bit pricey. No, at the moment in Australia, you find it literally between $50 a kilo up to whatever they put it, the price tag on. Some health food store I've seen all the way to $90 a kilo, which is really a rip-off. It's difficult to harvest though. The hemp seeds are not easy to harvest. They come from the female plant, and it is like a few process, and it takes a much longer time to make it actually seed, and in order to get it, and it's a short period of time you need to harvest it. And that's why the hemp seeds are quite expensive. But there is actually an alternative to it. And something I found out because I asked, and because there's a moment you're like, I'm not going to be able to keep on having hemp milk every day if it's that expensive. Because when you think about a bag like this, I'm going to tell you, Foodland Pasadena sell this 500 grams for $36. Okay, I don't sell it for that price, but they do, because it's still a brand that is not really around. The fact is, a cup is around 130 grams, so you make the cost here. So what I started using is what I call hemp seed fines. So hemp seed fines are actually the residue from when they go through the process of removing the outer shell. So it's got part seeds and part of the outer shell that was really packed with fiber actually. So the advantage of using that is not only that you have a cheaper product that's going to turn into milk anyway, it still has the same actual nutritional properties, got actual protein, the fats and everything, but on top of it you have more fiber from this one. So I'll show you that it actually gives you exactly the same result. And it's largely cheaper. So I'll do the same, I'll use 1 cup. So the same quantities, 1 cup of hemp vines for 3 cups of water. The taste is just slightly different because of the fiber content. It does have a little bit of a stronger taste. So that's the one I use when I know I'm going to make a smoothie. I use the hemp seeds when I'm going to turn it into, because I turn it into bechamels, and I use it on oven bake as well, which is another story. But I use the hemp seed in that matter, and I use the hemp fines when I do smoothies. Do you have any questions to start with? Anyone? Sorry? You can't buy it. The hemp fines, that's only for people who buy it bulk from the farmers. So at the moment, it's not something that is available. I'm looking at putting it on my website. I'm waiting for the nutritionals to come back from the lab. I've calculated it though, so I have it on my laptop if you're interested in knowing. It is really still really nutritious. Alright. So it is, you'll see it will turn into milk as well.
I've got a question. The residue from the milk, can you use it for The residue from the milk, can you use it for other things? So what you've got in that little container, can you use it as in protein balls or in anything else?
You can use the milk for anything. You can use the hemp seeds to put in protein balls, yes, in anything. The hemp seeds, you can sprinkle it anywhere. It's really versatile. When it comes to the hemp fines, I started using it to make tea as well. So it's really easy to get protein content from your tea. So that's another way I've been using it. And as I said, so much cheaper than the hemp seeds. It's worth it if you're someone who wants to really start including a lot of plant-based protein in your diet from hemp. So it is, I'm going to strain it the same way I did before, but I'm going to do it straight into the bottle because I don't have any container left. It is, and you'll see it just looks like milk too. So it hasn't really changed anything apart from the price at the end. So if you're someone who's dairy intolerant and looking at an alternative to milk for the morning in your cereals, for any other ways, as I said, I even make bechamel with it, which is like the white sauce that you put in on oven bakes, like potato bake and everything. The advantage as well, like you may have heard that the hemp seed oil is really fragile. You can't cook with the hemp seed oil because it has a really low smoking point, so it will actually destroy it. So the hemp milk is a good way of being able to use hemp in baking. I've been making hemp banana bread as well with hemp milk, and I like my banana bread. It's just this morning I didn't have time to make it, so I made the pancake version, and I'll get you to try that too. So here it is. I'm gonna now, I want to make the greeny one that I told you about. I don't know how much time I have left. Anyone has the time?
18 minutes so far.
Okay, I still have 20 minutes or so, but I want to make sure we have time for tasting after. So I'm just going to make the greeny one. So the same, I'm putting hemp milk. And I did bring some kiwis. Where are my kiwis? Alright. I'm just going to quickly peel it with the knife. So what I tend to put is always banana for the texture, not only because it's nutritious and it's tasty, but for the texture as well. Bananas are great for any type of smoothies, and they're full of vitamin Bs, so don't even hesitate with the bananas, and they're everywhere in Australia, which is what I love. They're always in good price as well, unless there's a crazy tornado happening. But I tend to put bananas in all my smoothies. And this one will too for the texture aspect, even if it's going to be packed with the kiwi, it's going to have another fruit in it. And I'm going to put the green powder as well as the hemp protein in it. So the hemp protein, I do recommend to use it with another liquid that is not water, because it tastes really green, because it's concentrated powdered hemp seeds. So it does have a really strong taste. You want to make sure that you use it in another liquid than water, otherwise you're just not going to want to drink that. Even if you're super motivated, super vegan, you're not going to feel like drinking it. So here it is. I'm just going to put the green powder. As I said, like it's just a classic green. This one's got spirulina, alfalfa, barley grass powder, wheatgrass powder, chlorella, spinach, like all the good stuff. So that's really good, especially in the morning as well. If someone would tend to have an early start and can't have lunch break until later, that will keep you going because of the high protein content. It's really filling, and you get a bit of carbs from the banana too. So what did I put? I'm just missing the banana. So we got banana, kiwi, the protein powder, the green powder. Oh no, I haven't put the protein powder yet. Here it is. So because it's so concentrated, 51 grams per 100 grams, I'm just putting 1 spoon. It's like enough. It's already, you have protein from the hemp milk, plus from the powder, plus, yes, just so much protein. So who wants to try the super greeny one? Yes? All right, I'll put it in a special glass, just for you. It is? Anyone else want to try? Yeah? So we can sweeten it more if you want to, depending how you like it, sweet or not. Just this one. Actually, I'm going to try this one too. Well, it's got good stuff in it. I mean, the only problem with hemp milk is, as I said, it has a little bit of a green, like, it's kind of like something that most of the people are not used to, unless you're used to have really healthy food and clean food. Yeah, I like it. So I'll show you a fair few ways. So we can make the hemp seeds we can make the hemp milk from the hemp seeds. We can make cheaper hemp milk from the hemp fines, which are not being sold yet. But I'm looking into it, and because it is actually just a good way for people who really want to replace their dairy habits with something that is really nutritious. I don't have anything against almond milk, but if you look at the composition of how much almond there is actually in your almond milk, it's so watered down, it's a bit ridiculous. It doesn't taste like anything because it's water.
It's much better.
I mean, I'm going to show you, actually, I've got a bit of a comparison table of different nut milk, and you will see in terms of nutrition how far better hemp milk is from all of the other type, like soy milk and any other thing. The only thing with soy milk, it still has a high protein content. However, as we know, there's GMO issues with soy altogether. So I'll put that on my laptop in a minute. I can give you more testing if you want to, and if someone wants to try it actually unsweetened, we want to try how it tastes actually on its own, I'm happy to give you a test of that too. And the last thing I want to try to make you taste is the pancake that I made this morning. So I'll tell you quickly. So it's vegan and gluten-free, because it's easier like that, anyone can have it. You know, I'm not actually vegan, because I tend to say no need to be vegan to get hemped, okay? I personally am not vegan, but I don't need to have, don't need to have an excuse to have hemp, technically. so that's the little pancake. So I used buckwheat flour, I used the hemp milk, I used the agave syrup that I was using as well in the smoothie, and what else did I put in it? And banana, yeah, because the texture aspect. It makes them like a little bit smoother, like chewier, you know, it kind of gives it this kind of smooth aspect. So you're welcome to try it as well. If I was able to have a proper kitchen, I would have warmed them up. But I can put a little bit of agave syrup on top of it too. And I've got some little napkins so you won't get too messy. I'm just trying to find where everything is again. Here it is. So I'll put a bit of agave syrup on top. It is. So I'll just welcome you to come and test anything you want, and depending on which type of milk you want to try. So I've got a super greeny one which got banana, kiwi, hemp protein, hemp milk, and green powder. We got the unsweetened hemp milk, just hemp milk. And we have the indulgent one with cacao and banana. So all here. So which one would you like to try? The indulgent one, yes. Here it is. Yes. The unsweetened, yes. No worries. Yeah, you'll taste exactly how it is. Like, I don't mind it. I'm used to it. But for a lot of people, it is raw, you know, tastes raw. The same non-sweetened one? It is? The unsweetened, yes. Yes, it does look like milk. Like you wouldn't know until you taste it, because it doesn't taste like milk. And the pancake, like help yourself. I'm just gonna find the little napkins. Just will be a little bit less messy. And if you're interested in finding more about the hemp finds, I'm happy to have a chat with you. I've got a few bags with me if you're interested. We have 1, 2, 3. The indulgent, you have the unsweetened, and the greeny one. That there. So by the way, just to let you know, I'm actually planning to start doing some hemp food course online. I've prepared that because I haven't seen any yet. No one is doing it. A lot of people talking about hemp when it comes to the agricultural aspect, because it's great for that. It's a biofuel. We can now, because we have developed the technology to turn it into plastic. So it's great for a lot of things. We can make building material with it as well. But it's so much better to ingest it. It's actually so great. And a lot of people don't realize how good it is in terms of nutrition. So that's what I'm trying to explain in the hemp food course that I've developed. And I go from doing smoothies, which is the simplest way, to a little bit more complicated in terms like using it as a binding ingredient, because it's got so much good fat, it's easy to bind it with any other type of ingredients. And that's why it's such a good replacement for milk in cooking and baking, because it has such a high healthy fat content. So if you're interested, I'm happy for you to have a chat with me. Otherwise, you can check my website. Should I write it somewhere? Yeah, I'll put it on my laptop. I'm just going to get my laptop up and you'll be able to see it. It's going to be simpler.
Please come to the information desk.
Anyone has questions?
Luke Jenkinson, please come to the
Wow, thank you. They are full with good ingredients. It's always the same. Like if you eat good stuff, there's no reason why it shouldn't be tasting good. But sometimes, like I think healthy and vegan food in general have a bad reputation to taste, not to taste technically. to be tasteless. And I think it's sad because it's so easy to, as I said, like you sweeten the milk with agave syrup and it tastes like milk. And you don't have to kind of pretend to be a warrior healthy that can drink anything. No, it has to be tasty, otherwise you're not going to keep on having it on a long period of time.
I'm just blown away. This is just...
Yeah, sure, go for it. Just have it to napkin if you want. So that's buckwheat flour, which is gluten-free. You have the hemp milk, banana, agave syrup, and that's it. Over here, if you want to see some comparison, I'm going to leave it on my computer for a little bit, unless it doesn't want to. So it's just, I'll read it to you as well, just for the fact, because you might not be able to all see it, unless I can connect back. I'm going to connect back to the projector. Oh no, they moved everything, so I'm just going to put it on the laptop. Just for you to have an idea how nutritious the hemp seed milk is compared to other type of nut milk. Because as I said, almond milk is good, doesn't taste like much, it's really expensive, and it's really just like colored water that you're putting over your cereals. So in terms of nutrition, it's not really worth it, not worth the effort. Alright. And also for people who are a bit more interested in seeing the nutrition of the hemp fines, I do have like the calculated one here that I did on the actually food standard so I'm just going to read it to you actually. So the hemp fines milk has 292.5 kilojoule per 100 gram, 4.15 gram of protein per 100 gram, 5 gram of fat per 100 gram, and of it, it's only 0.47 of saturated fat, 0.9 of carbohydrates, and of that is 0.35 of sugar, and it's got no salt, no sodium. So it's technically packed with protein and healthy fat. That's the type of milk it is. And that's the one that's not out of the seed. It's actually the fine, so that's the cheaper version. You still get a lot of nutrition. Thank you. And here I'll leave it for you as well, the table, the comparison table. So we've got the whole milk, the rice milk, the soy milk, the coconut milk, the almond milk, the oat milk, and the hemp milk at the end.